Ave Maria, this is Friar Roderick here for AirMaria.com, and we're in New Haven, Connecticut for the Stand Up for Religion rally. And it's a big event with about 500 people, and we were very happy to have Peter Wolfgang here from the Family Institute of Connecticut. How you doing, Pete?
Good, Friar Roderick. I love talking to you. I love being on AirMaria.com. It's like I'm home. We've done this so much over the years.
Right.
Never done it on the New Haven Green before.
Right.
But, you know, sometimes you got to make an incursion into enemy territory.
Right. Usually been in Hartford, right?
Right. Usually Hartford, which is, you know, we've at least claimed some ground in Hartford. But New Haven, my goodness, you're in the belly of the beast.
Right, yeah. So it's been a very good rally today, very good weather, and a lot of good turnout. Now, what's the background for the whole rally?
This was a Stand Up for Religious Freedom rally. It was one of several rallies happening simultaneously throughout the country today on, Friday, June 8th, in about 150 cities. It was organized on the national level by the Pro-Life Action League, that's Joe Scheidler's group out of Chicago, and some other groups, and Family Institute of Connecticut and some friends of ours are the local manifestation of it here in Connecticut. This is actually the third time, Friar Roderick, that we've held a rally like this. The Tea Party approached us in February, and we co-sponsored a rally with them in Hartford, and then we did it again in March with the first Stand Up for Religious Freedom rally. 615 people in Hartford, another 200 in New Haven. So we had 800 Connecticut citizens stand up on that day. And then again today, and we did that in March, and then today we had 520 people. That is the number that I was given, that it was about 520 people on this beautiful day.
Finally, we call for an intensification of prayer and fasting for a new birth of freedom in our beloved country. The people say amen? Amen. Thank you.
And we are so grateful to Bishop Rosaza and Archbishop Mansell, on whose behalf he was speaking today in defense of those liberties. You heard Bishop Rosaza talk about the effort to shrink the right to free exercise of our religion down to something smaller called the right to worship. Is that what freedom is about? Is it just that? No. And we'll be discussing that throughout the next hour or so. And we'll also be talking about action items, concrete action items that you can take to do something about this threat to our religious liberty.
Today I am so proud to stand with you, my fellow patriots. We are here because we are committed to freedom. We are here because we are committed to life. We are here because we are committed to virtue and morality. Yes, we speak to our legislators so that we can have a change and that religious liberty will ever be protected. We ask all of this in God's name. Amen. Thank you very much.
Right, and this is happening here, but also across the whole country, right? 180 people, towns?
That's right, about 150. And, you know, we came out to do this because of the Health and Human Services mandate. This mandate from the federal government goes into effect in August. This is coming up very soon, where it's going to require religious institutions and individuals of conscience against our beliefs to provide and pay for abortion-inducing drugs, contraceptives, sterilizations, even if it violates our conscience. In the entire history of the First Amendment, going back to 1791, the federal government has never required this of us. So that's what this is about. It's not contraceptives. It's not a war on women. It's about religious liberty. The government has no business taking away our religious liberty like that, and we have to push back.
This is the anniversary of the date that was introduced in Congress, right? The whole amendment of the Bill of Rights, right?
That's right. James Madison, who went on to be our fourth president, he is also the father of the United States Constitution, and he introduced the Bill of Rights on this day. So it has special meaning. The New Haven Green itself actually is rich in a lot of the better parts of American history, fights for freedom that took place on this green in past centuries. So, I mean, it was really symbolic. We really felt like God was with us today, Friar Roderick, and just, you know, having you friars here, having some of our nun friends, our priest friends, Catholic laity, our friends from other denominations, some of our Jewish friends as well, very, very powerful.
It was very powerful, especially all the other denominations.
As a bishop, I affirm
that Christians are called upon by the Scriptures to obey laws. We see law as a gift of God to man, but we have a constitutional right not to obey these laws, and we cannot be silent about it.
Because it is affecting everyone's religious liberties. And you even mentioned that it affects the liberals as well, and they're the ones who are introducing this. But it's going to affect their freedom of liberty of religion and thought as well.
That's right. You know, I would ask any liberals watching this, consider this. You may be happy right now to see President Obama do this to the Catholic Church, but if the federal government has this kind of power and a different president comes in with values that you don't like, a conservative president, right, he could use those same sorts of powers to take away the rights of liberal organizations and liberal individuals. This really does affect the religious liberty of all of us, regardless of your religion, regardless of your politics. Now, we don't need to deny the obvious here. The Catholic Church is very much in the dock. It really does feel like the church has a target on its back. Right. Nevertheless, this does affect the religious liberty of everybody.
Right. It goes beyond just that. It's also the rule of law with the fact that they're not going to obey the Constitution in this case. The sky's the limit. Really.
Well, that's right. I mean, for the first time ever, the federal government is redefining what religious institutions are. Right. They're saying you only qualify as a religious institution if you only employ and only serve members of your own denomination, which has never been the definition of Christian charity in the entire history of this country or in the history of Christianity. So this is something new is going on here. You get a sense that there's an agenda, that religious influence, that the government is trying to push religious influence out of the public sphere altogether. It's never happened like this in the history of the United States. It has happened in other parts of the world. It's happening now in China. So we have seen things like this, and in a very serious, incremental but serious way, it looks like a line has been crossed. And for the first time, steps have been taken in that direction here in America. And it's incumbent on all of us. I mean, this is our birthright as Americans to push back.
Right. So how's the pushback going? Has there been a response from Congress and from the president at all?
There's been responses all across the board. The United States Supreme Court, sometime in late June, is going to decide the constitutionality of Obamacare in its entirety. If they strike it down, the HHS mandate goes down with it. Right. If they uphold Obamacare or part of Obamacare, there's still these other lawsuits that have been filed by dozens of Catholic institutions and other institutions specifically targeting the HHS mandate, and we expect to win those lawsuits. But you know, even if we do win these lawsuits, what people need to understand is our religious liberties are in the dock. Even if we win this thing, there's clearly elements in this country, very powerful forces that want to take away the religious liberties that we've always had since the founding of the country. And we need to stand up against that. If we win the HHS mandate, we can't go back to sleep and think that this is over. Right. These folks on the other side are going to keep coming at us. So it's going to require us to continue to organize like this, but also to understand that this fight is not only temporal, that it's taking place in invisible realms as well. And we need to be prepared for that spiritual fight. We need to do prayer. We need to do fasting. We really need to raise up supplications to the Lord and to Our Lady to intervene on our behalf.
We definitely need that. And thank you so much, Pete, for all you've done through the Family Institute of Connecticut to bring this rally about and organizing all the opposition and the pushback.
Thank you, Friar Roderick. The Family Institute of Connecticut has been the main organization fighting this in our state, alongside the Catholic Church, of course. Our website is CT as in Connecticut, ctfamily.org. I would ask everyone on AirMaria.com, if you're in Connecticut, even if you're not in Connecticut and you want to support freedom here, go to ctfamily.org and please sign up for our email list.
Sounds good, Pete. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Friar Roderick. Ave Maria.
And God bless you. Ave Maria.